our own countries, not about the neighbors.
I to doprowadziło do takich problemów, jakie dzisiaj mamy.
And it led to the problems we see today.
Unieśmy się wyżej, a problemy będą rozwiązywane skuteczniej.
Let's rise above this thinking and we can solve our problems.
Ja głęboko wierzę w to pokolenie, że ono poprawi struktury i programy i satysfakcja będzie dużo większa niż w poprzednich pokoleniach.
I believe in this generation that it can rise above, change the thinking and make it more peaceful and harmonious.
A w Nigerii jakie są rezerwy i ludzkie, to na oko widać.
And the human and the resources you see in Nigeria make it even more possible to do it here.
Niewykorzystanie tych możliwości to jest strata dla całego świata.
Not to use these resources would be a loss for the entire world.
Nie możemy pozwolić na niewykorzystanie szans.
We cannot allow ourselves not to use these opportunities.
I w układzie globalnym, światowym musimy uruchomić moce, by to wykorzystać z pożytkiem dla nas wszystkich.
We must use these resources for our own benefit.
I tego Państwu życzę, dobrego wykorzystania możliwości, które drzemią.
And my wish for you, for Nigeria, is to use these resources and these opportunities in a beneficial manner.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much.
We thank President-elect Valenza. You can see, even out of office, he's still a revolutionary and is challenging Nigeria to use its huge human and natural resources to be a leader and to think continentally and globally. Nigeria should play its leadership role in ECOWAS, in West Africa, within the AU in Africa, and globally. Thank you. Let me now invite former Prime Minister, President of Council of State of Spain, Mr. José Luis Zapatero, who I can assure you is also an old friend of Nigeria and of ECOWAS. I recall with a lot of pride now that when I was president of the ECOWAS Commission, he was the first European head of state or prime minister who we invited to address a summit of ECOWAS heads of state. And he came there, and during that session, we agreed on a number of partnerships, including, very importantly, Spain helping ECOWAS to set up the Regional Center for Renewable Energy, which today is up and functioning in Cape Verde, one of our states of ECOWAS, thanks to the support of Spain and the personal interest that Prime Minister Zapatero showed in working with West Africa to begin to develop renewable energy. So his credentials as a friend of Nigeria and of West Africa are very well established. Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As you know, I was Prime Minister of Spain for nearly 8 years. I was the first Spanish Prime Minister to visit Nigeria. I came here in June 2009 to promote our bilateral relationship and to sign agreements with ECOWAS as part of my government's program for Africa that translated into a considerable effort in development cooperation. It's therefore an honor for me to be in Nigeria again to talk of democracy and its principles, the democratic task. Let me start by saying that democracy is always a project, a process that demands a collective commitment, especially from the country's elites. Democracy, just like politics, is always an unfinished task. If we examine history, we can conclude that democracy is a recent achievement. In 1786, the representatives of the state of Pennsylvania declared that a democratic regime like ours does not allow any superiority. No superiority, no discrimination, and no domination are the endless sources of the democratic ideal. The democratic ideal is peace, great ally. If we look at the Earth's different landscapes, if we look from east of west, from north to south, at the streets of Paris, Tangier, Jerusalem, New York, and Abuja, what stands out is humankind's diversity. We are diverse, but cut from the same cloth, like in Nigeria. This plurality is present in the ideas we've inherited, in the faith we have embraced, in the ethnic roots we were born with, in the flags that thrill us. But the different ideas, cultures, civilizations, and religion mustn't serve to divide humankind, but to understand each other better. Different identities have been used to vindicate wars and violence. However, all religions contain a message of peace, and religions must accept the plurality of faith. There are no heretics. There are people of different faiths. As the American philosopher Roy Williams said, God is too big to be kept under one single roof. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism have all most important contributions to progress, to culture, to civilization, to peace, to solidarity. And we have also suffered terrible human errors in the name of these same religions. And when these religions talk and embrace the idea of pluralism, they are contributing to peace. Dialogue is the means and end for peace. The dialogue between religions implies opening up to understanding, to new ideas, history, creativity, and spirituality. The dialogue between religions means not to lose or win, but to recognize that no culture, no identity, no religion, no race, no ethnic origin, no nationality is superior to another. Therefore, we must affirm strong principles, principles that are common to all cultures. Violence can never define a religion or an ideology. Violence is always only violence. Taking human lives is never defending an idea. It's just killing. Terrorism is an unfair and useless violence. There is no politics of terrorism, only terror. Politics can surrender to terror, but it can contribute to the end of violence. This is why, here in Nigeria, I want to take the opportunity to declare that terrorism only has one destiny, its end. Peace always prevails, and there is no end to dialogue and wars. Democracy and the rule of law are the answer to violence. And I believe that the death penalty isn't a solution. It's a great moral risk. When I think about Africa, I consider that the story of its path to democracy must be its own story. As Chimamanda